p.m. on June 10th, 2010. We have any letters of communications?
There is one from the United States Senate Office, Kirsten Gillibrand, thanking the Bridge and Port Authority for organizing and hosting the meeting that was held here at the Bridge and Port Authority on May 14th. She very much enjoyed the opportunity to see the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge and to hear firsthand from North Country representatives about pressing issues facing the region. I'd like to pass that around.
So we got any comments or presentations? Citizens regarding the agenda items? Being none, we'll move right on to staff reports. Wade, you're up.
All right. Mr. Chairman, first and foremost, I would like to thank Tomar Safety Systems for their invitation to the CANSEC Canadian Security Exposition that was held recently in Ottawa, Canada. John and I did attend that in conjunction with St. Lawrence County IDA, and a couple of contacts were developed as a result. Again, thank you to Tomar Safety Systems for that invitation. As far as my report, as you know, we had a visit from the Senator here recently. We're still working on the $90 billion bridge approach needs. The New York State Administrative Services Assessment, we're still waiting on the response to our hardship request, so again, there'll be no action on that tonight until we get some more information. We're still working with officials on the Port Access Road, getting that up and running. One key item of note under the airport, and I'll pass this around so you have a copy. This is the Essential Air Service proposal. You recall our Essential Air Service program at Ogdensburg cycles on 2-year intervals. It is up for bid. The bids will be due, the proposal will be due no later than June 30th of this year. For our evaluation, we'll evaluate it the same way as we did before, which is using the USDOT criteria, which considers 4 factors: service reliability, contractual and marketing arrangements with a large carrier at the hub, interline arrangements with a large carrier at the hub, and also community input. This service will take effect October 1. Should be probably for a 2-year period. I have received calls from Cape Air, Colgan Air, and Gulfstream at this point. No, they are not. Some are regional larger aircraft. There's been a lot of good customer response with Cape Air. Again, one of the things that we also need to take into consideration in our evaluation is anything larger than a 11-passenger plane requires firefighting services. And you recall that used to be a significant cost for us. That will no doubt figure into our evaluation. Yes, that's correct. And we do our evaluation sometime after the 30th, after the census are submitted. It was a fairly tight turnaround time. Last time I want to say it was about 2 weeks.
Tony, what is, I see Cape Air no longer service in Plattsburgh, is that true?
Yes, that's correct. That Essential Air Service run was, it used to be Plattsburgh, Saranac Lake. The USDOT actually busted that run into 2 separate runs. Again, there's no telling how things end up at the end of the day, but how USDOT put this out to bid, this is for service for Messina, Ogdensburg, and Watertown. Cape Air does fly out of Saranac Lake, yes.
Wade, question on how's that moving along as far as police state?
That's a 100% DOT project. They've got the funds. They're having no issues on that project. It's outside of it's kind of like a bridge project. It's outside of the angst that's going on in the state right now.
Yeah. And
Those funds that were already done.
Place wherever there's no movement of money, so those couple of things that we have no control of nothing. It's all in our hands now, and it's all.
That's correct. We're actually very fortunate. The type of funds that are being used on both the bridge and the toll booth relocation are not subject to the restrictions that had a lot of grief in the state.
Along with that thinking, what would happen if the governor does shut down state government? Does these jobs shut down? Do we know anything about that? No, I'm wondering if the governor shuts the government down, does this road job?
We'll probably run into issues with DOT inspector being off the job, and when the DOT inspector was off the job, eventually work would come to fall. So that is a potential impact.
Well, what's Barrett got to do with it?
There's the contractor on the toll booth relocation project.
Well, I know there's a problem with some sort of noise. I'm not going to sit here, but.
Yeah.
This month on the toll booth relocation is coming from the 7 Border Fund project, and the bridge project is 2005 Transportation Bond Act. Other things that we'll continue to work on over the near term, attention and attracting clients to the port and the industrial park. Specifically, another item, we did not have any responses for the fixed base operator RFP, request for proposal that we had for the airport. To modify that and reissue for the transient hangar only. So it's going to be a scaled down proposal. If we get no response to that, we need to have a tough discussion about the airport because we've got a beautiful facility out there. There's opportunity to generate jobs in a new sector of the economy, and our RFPs are coming up empty. So we'll have to do some creative thinking there. That's possible. Again, we received high initial interest in the RFP. I would have thought that we would have had something to talk about based on the initial interest, but that just didn't materialize.
Any other questions of Wade? Being none, we'll move to the Chief Financial Officer. Approved. So. I'm not happy to shoot or 15% increase for the retirees' Medicare paid. The increase in the health insurance portion is premium only. What is the actual cost of this? What's the cost of the authority? How much of that is the retirees paying? Can't email them to me, but you can get them to me. So about $60,000. Okay. You're a different person. Any other questions? Director of Education and Industrial Development, Mr. Roosh. Any good news? How are they going to move this product once they get going again? No? And they're trucking it?
Yeah, I was going to say it's outside Three Rivers. No.
It's heavy, isn't it? How do we, I guess this goes to my thought here on this, on how it's, because of all of the avenues that's opening up with this. Do they truck that across this bridge? Where's their smelter up there?
It's outside the Three Rivers. Oh, yeah, it's Valleyfield, sorry.
They go up to Montreal and come around that way?
Yeah, on this side of the river. Okay.
I know that stuff is awful heavy. Because people had concerns about, the trucks before hauling that from one place to the other about tearing up everything. Go ahead, John. Because what you mean by you're working on Tiger 2. I mean,
the
no one got any money out of that was
it was a station down in Manhattan.
yeah.
It was a Tiger 2 program that was coming out. It had the deadline July 15th.
John, have you got a minute? What's your feelings on the IDA? How do you work with those people? What big change do you see coming in with this political ball they got going on with the IDA and the economic development? Well, I see that the legislators are thinking about maybe contracting the economic development out for the county. Of course, you're probably aware of that. I mean, right? Yeah. What's your opinion on that? You probably see it kept in your own house, eh? I said, wouldn't you think that would be the place to do it? I don't have an opinion, eh? Okay. As far as you're concerned, you work very well with the idea.
Yes.
You don't have any problem there.
Very good partners with us on a regular basis on many projects.
Okay.
Were you worried about something? Did something fall?
I know that we as the Bridget Porth work very well with the IDA. And there seems to be, that's the thing over at the IDA, and the county board of legislators is going to make a decision if they're going to use the IDA as their economic development for the St. Lawrence County, which would make more sense to me, is they would use the IDA to do that for St. Lawrence County Board of Legislators, rather than be looking for an outside agency to do their economic development when they got perfect control for it under the IDA. I mean, they get a seat, they're on their board, they're on the executive thing. I mean, what more could they want? I mean, it's a great opportunity. And from what I understand, they're looking for outside agencies now to maybe do, or put a suggestion in, to do the economic development for St. Lawrence County. I think that, as far as I'm concerned, they already got an economic development through the IDA. And I think you need to keep control of your own autonomy here in St. Lawrence County and not be looking for somebody outside the county to do that part of it. So I was kind of just picking John's line on it because I see it says the IDA here. And the point is we seem to be able to get along pretty good there. Good. That was my question. I mean, they said, you know, you can hire someone from Syracuse. What does he know about St. Lawrence County? And I remember a long fought battle we had here. And I think, you know, I go back many moons when we were trying to get the glass factory here. And how we got completely shut out of that. And it was a horse race between all of the politicals and the politicians playing in the things, which I believe the politicians should be out of that. They shouldn't have a say in that part of it unless it's focused the way it's supposed to be done. Politics should stay out of that part of it. And that's why I'm very concerned about it. And I thank you very much. Anything else? We'll go right on to the Director of Operations. Yeah, he's got a lot of his reporting. You're up, Steve. Okay. Questions, Steve? Anybody got anything else? Okay. Let me see here. Personnel Committee. Sam, you're up.
I'm up. A couple things here that we talked about. I think this one, maybe can discuss it about the, we have rates for people who are a flag person, ground maintenance people, the workforce, and seasonal bridge crew members, and we tried to upgrade their rate of pay, and maybe Wade, you'd want to follow through with that and explain why.
Yeah, certainly I wouldn't necessarily call it an upgrade, but seasonal bridge crew member returning for a 6-year, our scale only went to year 5. So that would add a quarter to their wage. There's an agenda item on that tonight. The other item is we used to have, well, we still do have 2S and 4S seasonal work that goes on here at the authority. The 2S was actually below minimum wage, had not been adjusted in a long time. The 4S getting very close and at minimum wage. We took a look at that and we said, all right, let's just collapse those 2S and 4S rates into the 6S existing rate, which is a starting rate of $8.20 and then let's add the, if somebody returns in year 6, add the extra quarter to their wage. So what would we do? The other grade.
The minimum wage was what, 25?
$7.25 is minimum wage now,
Or $8.25. The other thing that we met today and talked in the past about is the policy, and what we discussed before, what was listed before, authority, just use sentence from one, had no prohibition against hiring relatives. Now we're addressing that statement with a different terminology, that we now have prohibition against hiring relatives. And so we discussed, to the board, we're recommending that we discuss that and see if we want to make some in regard to,
excuse me.
doing that. I could read it. Do we have copies for everybody?
Yes, it's on our agenda.
Okay. So another thing that we found in reading the thing was down to the middle of the first paragraph was that the party will not be considered for full permanent. Am I correct? We
added one word in there. Used to read into any full-time or part-time position. We changed that to read into any permanent full-time or part-time position. So we added the word permanent there.
And there was some nomenclature as far as what term employment, but that's contractually, each unit know exactly what that would really mean, so we can address that away. So that's what I have.
Any questions? Finance.
Under unfinished business, Mr. Chairman, there is a New York State Administrative Services assessment. We have not received response to our hardship request, so obviously I'd recommend no action at this time. I do not.
Coming meeting, July 15th.
okay with that? Do 2, 3, and 4 again?
To work for everybody.
When did we want to work in the tour that we need to? Okay.
You want to take us on a 4-wheeler around there, or what's the deal?
Yeah. 4-wheeler or boots.
Okay. Okay.
I'd like to request at this time, the August meeting could be turned to the 10th. Just so you, just so
Change the August meeting to the 10th. What day of the week is that? But change it. Does that interfere with you, Frank? We'll definitely get you out of here, Frank. We'll make sure that you get back to your other meeting. So we'll get a bonus. Okay. Roger, your request is okay.
okay, thank you.
So 2 would be personnel, 3 would be facilities, and 4 would be board.
And whatever else we have to add. Okay, that's good. Okay, we got some business items that we got to do.
Well, the first business item is agenda item A1, which is approval of supplemental lease agreement with Dan Dodge. This is in the Bridge Administration Building and expires June 30th. This is for room 207A. The new term of the contract would be July 1st, 2010 through June 30th, 2011 at the rate you see before you, and includes appropriate insurance coverage.
A motion to approve it. Mary? Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Item A2 is approval of a use permit with forma presentación. Specifically, they are requesting to use our facilities July 16th through the 18th of this year. Forma presentación is looking for spectator parking. Again, I'll pass around some of the brochures. The sheet I'm passing around, yellow areas indicate where they are looking to use for parking spaces. You're right here in the green X at this point. One thing that did come out of the meeting with them earlier this week, our typical insurance requirements are $1 million, $3 million. They have requested that we waive our insurance requirements down to $1 million, $2 million. We certainly wish them well on the 250th anniversary celebration. I don't know for certain on the differential. I know they currently have $1 million, $2 million for the entire event. That's around $1,800 their cost. I do not have knowledge of what the $1 million, $3 million is. Yes. Where the car shows typically park, the ball fields over here, car shows, and where the foreign trade zone sign is.
What would it cost? Does anybody know what it would cost for the additional $1 million on their coverage? the million?
Yeah. I had heard from a smaller event getting a local quote of a figure as low as $300 too for $3 million. So I think it all depends on the combination of who you're talking to and what your needs are inside your event. Staff is recommending approval for the reasons mentioned and also waiver of $1 million, $3 million, down to the $1.2 million. Yes.
But I would like to know, I don't have a problem with the way to amend this thing, but I would like to know what the difference is. And because, we have the car show comes here. Do they have the 1-3?
The boats? Yes. Everybody has the 1-3. The one exception I can show at is occasionally the carp tournament gets waived down to 1-2.
The carp tournament? We do that here?
But they use our facility.
I'm not, for 1 or 2 day events, I'd rather talk to our carrier too, to see if we can't offer these folks to 1.3 at a price. I'd like to know what it is. Now, well, what I'm saying, the same way, like our organization puts on an event, we have a picnic or something like that. We have to pick up additional insurance, all right? For years I've done this with Tony Keenan. It's a premium. He gives me a price of it, and that's what it was. I mean, maybe that's something we should look at, because I'd rather have the proper insurance. And offer it through, but maybe offer it through our own carriers, what I'm trying to say. Right now they got 1.2, and I think with what you just said, that's their policy, total policy they have all the time. So now for them to add an additional $1 million on that, it shouldn't be no more than $100. That's the truth. I mean, if they don't have the money, say, for an additional $300, I don't know what to come up with. Tell us, maybe we'll come up with it. I'd rather have the proper insurance. So if it's going to cost them $300 more to get the additional insurance, I would rather make a donation of $300, say.
Can't make monetary gift.
Okay.
You don't have to pay for lawyers to come up I think $300 number was associated. I believe the St. Mark Valley. Again.
For a second. Second by Don. All in favor? Opposed? We got the Battle of Olives concluded.
Agenda item A3 is an agreement with Michael Thayer. This is for our billboard on Route 11 property. Our current agreement expires June 6, 2010. The new agreement would be for a 5-year period at the rate of $400 per year. Gave them the authority beginning June 7, 2010 through June 16, 2015.
Roger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Held up really well. Perhaps. A4 is the approval of agreement for biennial inspection of the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge. We had put out a request for proposal. We received two solicited proposals. Sorry, I want to make sure I get my terms right here. We solicited proposals. We received two responses, one from Greenman Peterson, the amount received before you, and one from Chesky and Masters at the amount that you see before you as well. There was some discussion at the facility committee about it today, and we wanted to bring it to the full board. An interesting opportunity presents itself here, where for an additional $5,149, we could get a second bid on the bridge.
Peterson and those guys are going to inspect it anyways. People inspect it. Sand. So if we're getting a double way to go. Wade, the things that we said, I think we as a board would agree, is that justification for 5,000 some odd?
Oh, sure. Sure it is.
So that's all we're so clear in that.
Yeah, this is why this is what government is saying. You need to look at things, different things. You don't want that same pattern.
Well, I'm saying it's
That's why. Here's the one. Right. Exercise is good. Who's on the last five? Good time to shift this thing.
Here's what I was going to say. Okay, well, I get this one, but you know what? Yeah. Price cost not to exceed. Well, amount. Very good. But the history of the
It's 18.
Not a bit, Frank. Let's get back to the thing. The authority solicited a proposal from the two engineer firms, and we're going with the 118, period. We didn't do a bit. We're going to go with the one that we've chosen. But it's not a bid. I don't want that on the prices. We got two prices, and the price that we feel comfortable with, the company is $118,000. And I make the motion. No? They can refer to our minutes. That's right. Etc. The 10 minutes. On the TV. We don't need to change just we'll go with that firm. Thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you, folks. Next item is a small item, but it's here in front of you today because it is a 3-year contract. Meets the definition. Agenda item A5 is a maintenance agreement with Kraft Power Corporation. As you know, we have a responsibility to maintain emergency generators at the water station, as set forth in our lease agreement with GSA. The dollar amount on this would be $710 per year for a 3-year period for a total of $2,130. Do we have a motion? And do we have a second? Roger? Favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? One of our strong points at the Port of Ogdensburg is the agricultural fees. Agenda item B1 is the approval of a handling and storage agreement with the New York and Ogdensburg Railway for handling of agricultural fees at the Port of Ogdensburg. The term of the agreement is July 1st, 2010 through June 30th, 2011 at the rates you see before you. Motion made by Ron. Seconded by Sam. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Agenda item C1 for the airport is the transfer storage agreement. It's our hangar agreements. There's 3 individuals involved in this. Steve Belgard, who is an employee of the Bridge and Port Authority. Mr. Keith Weston and Mr. Frederick Proven for hangar space at the Ogdensburg International Airport. The rate on this is $185 per month. The term is July 1st, 2010 through June 30th, 2011. Yes, that's correct. Whoever made the motion? Second? All in favor? Okay. To the best of my knowledge, yes. All in favor of the motion? We need to switch over to item E1. such matters? D1 is not item E1. Other such matters is approval of part-time seat. Probably the best place to do this is jump into the following page back. Page 6S is posting to be a clerical flag person, facilities and grounds maintenance, and a safety boat operator. A couple of changes here that collapses our 2S and 4S rates into the 6S rate. And we added year 6 and after the 25 graduation there. And the 9S, which is our seasonal bridge crew member, we do have one bridge crew member who is returning again this year on year 6. So therefore, we recommend adding the additional 25 cents to that.
Tell me why you put the word this. I don't have a problem with. Why do you have the word year in this and after? Is this an after 25, 25, 25? Is that what you're saying? Why do you do that? I mean, you're pyramiding. Well, we lose track of it now, and next thing I know, guys up there, I don't like that type of thing. I mean, we want to put 25 cents back to the board and give it. I don't like the word after there. It's pyramiding. Maybe, it gets to a point where, this thing can climb, where, I may not be here. I don't like the word after. Well, I want it brought to the board every year. But that's what this resolution feels like. It's over.
Yeah.
Well, next year I might not give us argument unit anything. Seasonal people are going to pick up 25 cents. $600 a year, but, most people get nothing.
I guess.
What's your opinion, Mark? I mean, you're the one that's the honeymoon on that. What's the deal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not okay with it.
I don't understand. You're sick.
That's a good thing. 6 years down the road, somebody says, well, I'm gone, and Mary's gone, and you're gone. Somebody said, well, how did these guys get up there so well? I said, well, the resolution taken in 2010. This is how you got it. Wait a minute. The way you got this building here is well, I don't want that. Bring it back.
So year 6 would read 1635 on the 9S. On the 6S, year 5 would read 925. Year 6 would read.
The changes and motions are ordered to approve.
Good catch.
I made the motion. Go on a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Item E2 under other such matters is approval of employment of relatives policy. On the packet you see the resolution. 3 is the current policy. Page 4 is the proposed policy. As I mentioned, the Personnel Committee added one word, third line, permanent, full-time, or part-time position.
Next slide.
Didn't know twice the word is. I would counter that, Mary, with the fact that we're a public agency. We have public scrutiny, and we need to have a clear and bright line on this issue. To advocate that the proposed policy establishes that clear and bright line by exactly what it says.
I'm not in favor of I think we can
in the proposed policy that addresses existing and future relationships. Further, they will not be hired, transferred, or promoted into positions where they directly or indirectly supervise or are supervised by another relative, whether by blood, marriage, or cohabitation. Councilman.
Okay, well, then we'll table this resolution until you and Mary get a chance to come up with support for that table. That's it.
I have a little bit of issues to say because.
Oh, I thought you were done. Well, you can be on the committee. I'll point you along on that committee.
I do. That things about say the structure. It just takes more discussion. What we need.
Well, you got the previous language, Steve, that we already go by. And all this is doing is clearing up some of the language. I can tell you, Zoe, it's very simple how to come up with this. Very simple, couple words, and get it done. And so don't add a bunch of stuff here where you're going to end up hiring a guy down at the end of the table to defend us on an issue either. We're just trying to be fair here. You know, I don't want to know about the guy getting married to this or that and all that crap. I don't want to know about that. New people coming on here. I would say, you don't have to be against it. It's been tabled. You know, I don't know what the star move here is.
We'll send that back to committee for action.
There you go. The next time we'll bring it back, hopefully we'll know where you are. What? You're going out of committee? Okay.
Okay, moving on to a non-controversial issue. Are you? I'm pretty sure this disclaimer on this one. Then have we got a deal for you? On agenda item E3. There's the approval of a minimum bid limits for surplus property.
I make that motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. You own it. You own it. There's a question, I guess, on the motion. Second. But Mary. Agenda item E4 is approval of a change order with Manone Building Contractors. Specifically, for the commercial aviation hangar bifold door. This is the $100,000 project that we're talking about. There's an unused $10,000 change order that we need to do. It's a decrease of $10,000 as we did not use the construction allowance on that project.
Seconded by Sam. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Good. Thank you for doing it all the time for getting us that money. Send it to all.
Item E5 is approval of a lending agreement with NBT Bank. As you know, the bridge project is a $2 million deck replacement project. It is a reimbursable project where we pay first, then DOT reimburses us on a timeline. But as a result, we need to make sure that we have lending agreements in place to cover the shortfall due to the fact we don't have enough capital. As you can see, we're recommending NBT as its expected cost range, higher funding limit, a requirement of additional depository account, final opinion required, and the prior relationship that we've had with them on the border station, where we had an $8 million short-term financing need. And at this point, I direct any That is correct. Strictly. Cover your question, Rick. Just a little left over.
How many other banks been involved in this? Who talked to these banks? Two. When you kind of talk to them about this stuff, did any of the other banks, did they put anything in writing like they did on the inspection of the bridge? Or, I mean, did you request that, or is it? And everybody was a lot higher than this? Any local banks? Motion in order to pass the resolution. Okay. Do we have a second? Don? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay.
There is a need for a brief executive session. We need to excuse.
Okay. I make the motion to go into executive session.